the film made me think about everything, everywhere, all at once, and Farewell, the films that talk about immigration.
Yes.
Why do you think we're talking so much about that subject matter?
I think there are just a lot of creative filmmakers that have gone through that experience that are getting opportunities to make movies when they didn't have those opportunities before. You know, what's exciting about that is it's not, I feel like this point of view connects to a lot of new filmmakers, but they're at the same time, there are all these other new point of views that are filling out the landscape in a way that's very inspiring.
Y es muy interesante además la tensión intergeneracional que también está muy presente en estas historias.
And very much so, we see the tension between different generations. No, it's
Yes, yes. That was my whole life. Just fighting my parents and understanding them.
He leído en las notas de producción que habían hablado con unos trabajadores inmigrantes de Pixar. ¿Cómo fue esa experiencia?
que tenían trabajadores
Que habían hablado con ellos para el proyecto, para documentarse.
Yeah, in the production notes they mentioned that you talked to some workers from Pixar that were immigrants, and you tried to gather some stories from them. How was that experience?
It's so inspiring. We sent out an email to the entire company, and we had well over 200 people reply. And those are only the people that responded. So, you know, we realized this is a company that's made up of people from all around the world. So we spoke to them in small groups of like 6 to 8 people, and a lot of those stories made their way into the film. A lot of those people wound up working on the movie, and it really was quite a remarkable thing to experience.
Yeah, it's so emotional, it becomes a burden. All of a sudden it's weight. Oh, you hear the story and it's like, that is so beautiful. And you're like, oh my gosh, we have to honor this somehow. How do we honor this? And so, it was a weight for sure.
¿Y cómo fue la experiencia de mirar su propio matrimonio, sus propias relaciones para hablar de la historia de los dos protagonistas?
And how is the experience of looking at your own marriage or your own story to put it into the story of the protagonist?
It was seeds in the beginning, and so that part is really great. And then, like you said, it's a lot of stories of our artists that are in there, but it's still really personal and it's scary. It's very vulnerable. And but the thing you learn at Pixar is that, you know, so much of the projects that make connections is because you're being vulnerable. But it hurts. It's scary, and you know, it's thrilling. But yeah.
But I feel like, you know, I don't think it allowed me to examine sort of my relationship with my father and to understand how much he did for me, which you know intellectually, but when we're sitting in the story room with story artists, it becomes sort of like a therapy session, so that you kind of go deep into that understanding and appreciation. And I will be forever grateful to Peter to come away with just that, my heart is full for my dad.
Ellos colaboraron hace años en una película de Pixar que era de Continuous. ¿Cómo ha cambiado en la forma de trabajar y Hollywood en general con la animación desde entonces?
So you collaborated with Pixar many years ago with The Good Dinosaur, and I was wondering how much has the industry changed in general, in Pixar and in Hollywood in general?
I think there's just more point of views, and the technology is getting to a place where there's a lot more different type of movies being made. That's very exciting. How the whole industry is continuing to change feels like there's just a lot of great perspectives. That's really inspiring.
En realidad, quería preguntarle por cómo vivieron el pase en campo, porque yo vi la película, me gustó, pero salí y estaba un poco confundido con las reacciones a la película.
Yeah, I was wondering how was your experience in Cannes, because I was there, I loved the film, but I was confused by some reactions.
In American press especially.
Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, we were confused too.
The experience of it itself was fascinating, because half of me was just like, I don't belong here. This is, you know, you feel like a minority again in some weird way. You're like, this is not a place for us. But then the cinema love was so real that you began to feel like you belonged. But then afterwards, yeah, the reaction was tough, and you know, c'est la vie.
But it was an honor to be there. We were really excited, and you know, I felt very emotional knowing the journey it took us to get the movie finished, and you know, I don't know, it will be something I remember very fondly, and it was nice, very exciting to be there.
It was hard. I mean, I appreciate you remembering that. Did you feel like that coming out of there? Or
No. Cannes can be really more harsh with the critics. I don't think they were particularly harsh, but like really mild. It's like,
That's true. It was mixed.
Yeah.
It was mixed.
Quería preguntarle por es que se me ha pasado antes, el elemento del fuego y del agua en la película, porque no he visto animación así en una película, no lo recuerdo. ¿Cómo fue dar forma al agua y al fuego en la película?
I was shaping the fire and water and so I don't remember seeing anything like that in my life.
I think what you just said was what got us excited. That we hadn't seen anything like that before, or that this idea. Everyone was afraid at work. Once we started our initial digging and understanding what processes we may need, everyone said you don't have enough time or the technology to get it done, and so there were a lot of doors slammed on this. And but our artists, you know, it's almost like Jurassic Park. You know, like life found a way. You know what I mean? And through a lot of new technology and a lot of ingenuity and a lot of sweat. Like my brother thinks computers, you just press a button and there it is. But there's a lot of frame by frame understanding of how to get those simulations to feel like a character.
Hollywood ha sido, Pixar ha sido durante 30 años un templo en Hollywood y ahora está como un momento de transición cuando se enviaron películas a Disney Plus, con los superhéroes también está pasando, por ejemplo, que algunas funcionan, otras no. ¿Qué cree que debería hacer Pixar a partir de ahora? ¿Debería olvidarse un poco del streaming y centrarse en el cine? ¿Cómo lo ven ellos desde dentro?
Pixar was like a temple in Hollywood, and then we see this transition period where some things go to Disney Plus, some things streaming or not. What do you think they should go? Where should they be headed?
I mean, the movies that ended up going to Disney Plus it happened because of the pandemic. They were all made and intended to be released on the big screen, and it was just very unfortunate circumstances. And you know, our movies continue to be intended for the big screen. You know, we have lots of interesting storytellers that are creating really emotionally accessible and interesting stories from again different points of view. So we're excited about that. I mean, the business is changing, and we'll have to figure that out, you know, as time goes on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.